This is the weekend edition of iFiber One News, where we present some of the top stories from this week and your weekend weather forecast. I'm Bethany Jinks. Stay tuned for the weekend edition of iFiber One News.
From the iFiber One HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFiber One News, your number one source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFiber One News, and it starts now.
One of our top stories for this week was the Stop Violence Now march held in Moses Lake, calling for an end to violence and honoring families that have lost loved ones. Reporter Devin Higgins has the story.
Sunday was one of the hottest days of the year, but it didn't stop a group of Grand County residents from taking to the streets of Moses Lake to call for an end to violence. The Stop the Violence Now march follows the death of 22-year-old Moses Lake resident Jose Pichardo on October 31st, 2014, and the death of 17-year-old Cesar Medina of Moses Lake just 2 weeks ago in Spokane. Pichardo's widow, Margarita Pichardo, said she was grateful for the community coming out to support the cause.
It's amazing. We had so much people than I thought we would have. A lot of families came out to support. Of course, errands came out to support. A lot of businesses came out to support. I've had a question that people came to ask me. Are you doing it for your husband? And I'm like, part of it, yes. I am doing it for my husband too, but I'm also doing it for all the other families. There's not just one person that's been affected by violence and stuff like that. And so that's why I did this and created this and put everything together. And we had a lot of people, and it just shows that we have a lot of people to support, and especially for my kids. They're young, they don't know what's going on. To set that foundation for them right now, I think it's amazing. They need that.
In the 8 months since her husband's death, Margarita said the impact of his loss is something she feels every day.
It's been hard, to get married to him and then not to have him anymore, to wake up without him, to do things without him with my kids. It's affected me, and people don't know that. People don't know that that was somebody's son, somebody's husband, brother, the father, my kids. He was not there to be with my son, or one of our youngest son. His birthday's coming up, his first birthday, and he's not here for that. My daughter just turned 6, and my son will turn 4. That's important to them, and it's just affected me a lot. What I'm hoping is that people will start opening up their eyes and open up their heart if they don't know yet or anything. I want them to lock arms with us. There's different businesses that locked arms with us. This is enough. That's one of the things that we were shouting. It's enough. It's enough. What other people I don't want people to go through this. If we could stop it before it happens, then that saves one more person. This city is not safe.
In Moses Lake, Devin Higgins for iFiber One News.
Grant PUD commissioners will make a decision on the development plan for Crescent Bar next month, which could include keeping the golf course open. Reporter Devin Higgins has the details.
The Grant PUD commissioners heard feedback from residents of Quincy and Crescent Bar Island on Tuesday about whether or not to keep the Crescent Bar golf course in its future development plans for the island. A PUD survey taken in May found residents largely in favor of keeping the golf course and not converting it into extra public recreation and camping space. The commissioners heard from residents both for and against including the links in the plan.
I love to golf, but we have the Quincy one, maybe a little bit over 10 miles from Crescent Bar, and then we have Rock Island, 10 or so miles away. But how many camping sites do we have around our area? We don't have any. And I would like to see that area be camping site, not for RVs to put on foundation and a patio added on and on and on and on, like we have right now.
Okay, the only thing that's really changed there now is you decided to let 410 people stay on the island. This is a good thing, because then you have a source of income. Not only are you going to get current values out there from these people, then you've got somebody that moved there to use the golf course, which will be paying to use that golf course. Would it make sense to have a rental home Did you go out there and take the backyard away from that rental home? And they no longer have a backyard in that home. You don't take the amenities away from something that keeps that person there.
The PUD commissioners are expected to make a final decision at their July 7th meeting. In Ephrata, Devin Higgins for iFiber One News.
And now we take a look at people being sought by law enforcement.
This is Sheriff Tom Jones with the Grant County Sheriff's Office. Each of the people you see here have a warrant for their arrest. If you see any of these people, we ask you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but call us at 509-762-1160 or send us an email at crimetips@co.grant.wa.us. If the person is presenting a danger, call 911. With your help, we can bring these people to justice and make our community safer.
We'll be right back after this.
What's white and yellow and red all over? If you said the local book telephone directory, the one with the purple sunset on the cover, then you're right. In print and online at statewideyp.com, it features up-to-date local maps, community information, and a calendar of events. With a restaurant dining guide with full local menus and a reverse directory, you're sure to find the number you're looking for. It's the best way to get the information you need. Pick up a copy of the local book today or visit statewideyp.com. Have you been to iFiber1.com? The most up-to-date news in the Columbia Basin is just one click away. With news, sports, and weather, you can stay in the know with what's going on in your community. Read your news on the go by visiting iFiber1.com on your tablet or even your phone. Follow us on Facebook for quick updates and discuss the news with others in our area. Your number one news source in the Columbia Basin is iFiber1.com. Check it out today.
Hi everyone, I'm Chaselyn Rodriguez bringing you your local weather, brought to you by iFiber One's Inside Look. Watch it today on iFiber1.com. Cooler temperatures coming through our way for this weekend. A decrease in temperatures, dry conditions, and breezy conditions coming through our way. Those winds pushing through from the northwest up to, they could gust as high as 30 miles per hour. Dry and seasonable for the weekend. Let's take a close look at the almanac within the past 24 hours. We started off the day in the lower 60s, around 10 degrees above the normal, and maximum temperatures in the upper 70s. Seasonable temperatures for our area, record high of 94 degrees in 1974, and that sun setting at 8:55 p.m. And for Moses Lake, we started off the day as well above the normal for this time of year in the upper 50s, and maximum temperatures in the lower 80s. That record high as well in the lower 90s, and sun setting at 8:53 p.m. And right now outside your door, mostly clear skies. Maximum temperatures in the upper 70s with the dew point around 33, and those winds pushing through from the west-northwest up to 22 miles per hour. Now those winds could gust as high as 30 miles per hour around our area. Dry conditions remain in control for tonight into this week, and we're expecting dry conditions. Some disturbance along northern parts of our state may be possible towards the Cascades. However, we're expecting dry conditions within the next few days, an increase in cloud cover by the beginning of the work week, but we're expecting dry conditions. Let's take a look at those maximum temperatures towards the coastal area, from the lower 60s to upper 60s, and towards Olympia in the mid 70s, the Yakima Valley in the mid 80s with mostly sunny skies, and the inland northwest, those maximum temperatures from the lower 70s to mid 70s with mostly sunny skies. Let's take a closer look at our Columbia Basin. We start off those maximum temperatures from the upper 70s to lower 80s with mostly sunny skies. Dry conditions remain in control for this weekend with seasonable temperatures around our area. However, we will get a gradual increase in temperatures. Let's take a look at the extended forecast for the week. We will get an increase in temperatures coming through on Sunday in the mid 80s, and then for the beginning of the work week, we're expecting maximum temperatures to return to the lower 90s, over 10 degrees above the normal for this time of year. More seasonable temperatures for Saturday, and then a gradual increase in temperatures, some cloud cover for the second half of the work week with another decrease in temperatures, more seasonable temperatures by Thursday with mostly cloudy skies. We'll be right back with sports.
You don't have to drive to Seattle for exceptional cancer care. Confluence Health's cancer program delivers world-class care close to home. We have a highly experienced oncology team in a state-of-the-art facility, and we're a member of the Seattle Cancer Care Alliance, which gives our patients access to world-renowned therapies developed at Fred Hutchinson, the University of Washington Medicine, and Seattle Children's. Together with the SCCA, we're delivering world-class cancer care close to home.
Experience speed like never before when you connect to Grant PUD's high-speed network. Visit grantpud.org to learn more.
Our next story is about a Moses Lake man using his skills with a chainsaw to create works of art out of tree stumps. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Moses Lake artist Francisco Kiki Zuniga picked up a chainsaw for the first time a month ago and started carving statues from tree stumps. His first attempt at the art form was a rooster cut from a V-shaped stump. He quickly moved on to his second work of art, a band of mariachis carved from 5 poplar tree stumps. The work is finely detailed right down to the poplar roots he used to give hair and mustache to one of the figures. Hidden away, you can find cactus, jugs of tequila, even a plate of limes.
Dwayne, he owns this park, and he had some trees that had broken, fallen, and he had the stumps, and I just happened to tell him one day that I could make a mariachi band out of it. And at first, it seemed like he didn't believe me, but I did the first mariachi, and he was like, wow, you should do the rest of them.
Chainsaw carving seems to come naturally for Zuniga.
Well, actually, I just happened to tell Rolando, a friend of mine, that this stump here looked like a rooster, so actually this is the first time I've ever used a chainsaw to make some artwork, and this is what it turned out to look like. Pretty simple. For me, it just comes natural, I guess, because I see it, I saw them, I knew what they were going to look like before I even started them, So, I can't explain it, but, it's there in my head.
The statues can be found at Zamora Park, a private recreation area hidden away in an industrial zone near State Route 17. The Moses Lake Park is owned by the Zamora family, which uses it for private events. Dwayne Zamora, a Moses Lake Construction Company owner, recalled how he learned about Zuniga's project at his family's park.
I go, Roland, what's that kid doing over there chopping on that tree? And Roland goes, just leave him alone. He says he's going to do a rooster or some kind of bird. I said, oh, okay. About a couple hours later, I came and I see the actual figure of I said, whoa, let him keep going, Roland.
Rolando Adame, the park's groundskeeper and Zuniga's friend, said he was impressed with the artist's speedy work.
We're sitting at the kitchen table, and he looked out the window and said, I see a rooster. And I said, I see a slingshot. And then he says, you got a chainsaw or something I can cut it with? I said, I got a little one. And so 2.5 hours later or so, he got a shape of a rooster out there, that fast. I was amazed by his work and speed of it, too.
The park, which overlooks a natural area and wetlands, is seeing some upgrades, with Zamora building a fountain near the park's bandstand. Zuniga said a decorative fence and lighting will be placed around the mariachi statues. Zuniga says he's an artist for hire, with painting portraits being his first love. Zuniga can be contacted through Zamora's company, Big Max Construction, at 509-771-3595. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
We'll be right back.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Kono. I am your local Ephrata Farmers Insurance Agent. Here at Cheryl Kono Insurance Agency, our customers always come first. We don't just work here, we live here. Please stop by the office, call, email, or Facebook me for a free auto, home, life, business, or farm and ranch quote today. We are insurance. We are farmers. Come in for a free quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Welcome back. The next story is about an active shooter drill at Wahluke High School in Mattawa to better prepare the school district in the case of an actual emergency. Reporter Jeff Chu has the details.
It was a beautiful day at Wahluke High School in Mattawa until gunfire broke the silence and a vehicle armed with bombs was detected in the school parking lot.
Where's my daughter? Where's my daughter?
A scenario of domestic violence-related shooting and bombing attacks on innocent students and school staff was staged Tuesday at the high school. Grant County Sheriff's deputies, the Washington State Patrol, and its interagency bomb squad, school district staff and administrators, and even Big Bend Community College student actors staged the active shooter drill at the school. The drill was intended to be about as real as it gets without bloodshed or injury. The Washington State Patrol Bomb Squad rolled out its robot and X-ray gun to seek out and disable a vehicle armed with two handmade bombs. True to a drill, guns fired blanks and bombs were not armed. Volunteer victims included district staff, even Mattawa Police Chief John Turley. Observers from around the state and representatives of Grant County Fire Districts 8 and 5 participated. Wahluke School Superintendent Aaron Chavez and his school principals were on hand for the drill. Grant County Sheriff's Deputy Joe Harris, the Wahluke School District School Resource Officer, explained why the drill was necessary.
The goal today is to test some of the security systems in place with the school district. And then aside from that, to test some of the policy and procedural issues with the staff. Everything from the initial de-escalation when the incident starts all the way through to transportation, reunification, and all of the other aspects that a lot of people don't realize come into play.
Shelby Jensen, Wahluke School District Safety and Security Coordinator, shared what she hoped was accomplished through the drill.
I hope that we will be able to look at our procedures and be able to test our system, learn our gaps, and then be able to move forward in fixing and fine-tuning those gaps for overall student and staff safety. I don't know that you can ever 100% be ready, and living in a rural area, our resources are so limited, and so staff is going to have to learn that they really are the first responders in this and may have to be able to stabilize the situation for maybe up to a half hour to 45 minutes.
State Trooper Cliff Pratt, a bomb technician with the Washington State Patrol, talked about the bomb squad's training role and assistance in the Wahluke active shooter drill.
Bomb squads and SWAT teams and school personnel, administrative staff, we all try to now work together for these types of drills and make it all come off without a hitch if at all possible.
The bomb squad trained a new bomb robot control operator inside the crew's truck. I'm Jeff Chu for iFiber One News.
You got it. It's going to stay.
Rounding out this week's news coverage is a story about the return of the hydroplanes in Soap Lake. The two-day regatta kicks off at 10 a.m. Saturday. Reporter Joe Utter has more details.
The roar and rooster tails of hydroplanes from across the Northwest make their return to Soap Lake this weekend for the third annual Soap Lake Hydroplane Regatta. Dozens of boats are expected to compete Saturday and Sunday on the 1 2/3 mile record course, from vintage boats and junior classes to the inboard hydroplanes that easily reach speeds over 100 miles an hour. Spectators can line up along Smokeyam Park to view the races, which begin around 10 a.m., and races are free to watch. The event is sanctioned by the American Powerboat Association and is sponsored by Smokeyam RV Resort on Soap Lake, Seattle Drag and Ski, AMR Ambulance Service, and Masters Inn in Soap Lake. This is Joe Utter for iFiber One News.
That wraps up our weekend edition. iFiber One News will be back on Monday at 5 p.m. with the latest news from around the Columbia Basin. Thank you for watching.
Just when I thought the blizzard couldn't get any better, DQ put the blizzard inside a waffle cone. This is mind-blowing. So when DQ asked me how I would tell the world, I said... Sounds better in Italian.
Pretty impressive, Liz. Any blizzard, like confetti cake, now in a fresh-baked waffle cone. This is fan food, not fast food.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of these many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Ephrata claimed the 2A girls team golf championship for the second time in school history. Freshman phenom Kennedy Peters led the charge for the Tigers with an amazing two-day performance. Sean Wells has the story.
And at first place, at 139, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but that's really a good score. Kennedy Peters.
Star freshman Kennedy Peters demolished the field at Meadowood Golf Course in Spokane, winning the 2A state championship by 19 strokes. She shot a first-round score of 71 and followed that up with a second-round 68. The Tigers finished with 3 golfers in the top 10, helping them win their first team state title since 1993. Peters says she was under pressure on the course, but she sure didn't show it.
A little bit. Very overwhelmed. Just a lot of pressure, you know, knowing what everybody knows about you and, you know, the talent and everything. Just trying to always do your best is sometimes hard.
Peters only had a 6-shot lead after the first day, but her second round 68 gave her the championship without question.
That was really satisfying. It was the back nine is something that I always really struggled with on that course, and so being able to come into the second day and just really playing well was really big.
Head coach Heidi Burns was a sophomore the last time the Tigers won a state championship in 1993. She's been around a lot of golf, but she still can't believe the performance her star freshman gave at state.
She just came out. I thought maybe jitters would have her, but it didn't. And she came out, you know, the first day, and I thought, okay, great. That she had a great round, you know. And then the second day came out, and she came in, and I just thought, wow, it was pretty just awesome to see how she just carried herself.
Ephrata brings a ton of talent back next year with high expectations. Coach Burns thinks her team is ready to get back to work.
You know, they are improving. Every time they come out, they improve, and they want to work on it. They're out there a lot working on it, and so if they can continue that all summer long, and you know, when the weather's nice in the fall, go out and play, you know, I think that we could have a fairly decent chance. I just hope, my goal is to get them all back to state.
For Fiber One News, Sean Wells.
The Spuds opened AAA American Legion conference play with a 2-game sweep of the Wenatchee Apple Packers.
The team took the opener 5-4 in 10 innings in triple-degree heat last night at Larson Field. Wenatchee brought a runner across the plate in the top of the first to take the early lead. The Spuds responded with 3 in the home half of the frame. The Apple Packers hung 2 on the board in the third to knot it 3-all. Both teams added a run late to send the game to extra innings. A suicide squeeze in the bottom of the 10th was the decider for the Spuds. Chase Tunstall got the start. Cameron Ball earned the win.
The Spuds came from behind to take the nightcap 7-4. Tunstall went 4 2/3 innings to pick up the win. Jason Cole retired the Apple Packers in order in the 7th to record the save. The Apple Sox dropped a 4-3 game to the Sweets in Walla Walla. It was a second extra inning loss in the 3-game series. Wenatchee opens up a 3-game homestand with Corvallis beginning tonight at 7 o'clock. The River Dogs are in Vancouver this weekend for the West Coast Invite. The Central Washington Spuds are playing a tournament in Missoula, and the Walleyes are in Rathbun, Idaho for the Post Falls Tournament. Have a great weekend. We'll be back after this break.